Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. And I'm going to apologize. I'm a little congested today, and I have been sneezing like crazy the last couple of days. So I don't know if I'm getting a cold or if I'm just dealing with some allergies. I'm not sure what's going on. So I just figured I would apologize since I'm going to sound a little froggy today, I think. And I'm a little slow going today as well. But we all have days like that, right? All right, so welcome to the Saturday Surprise Workout. Today we're going to do some functional core training. So yes, we have a little bit of strength training, but our focus today is going to be working on our core and working on engaging our core while we are doing different activities. Because if we can hold a plank for 5 minutes, that's great. But if we still look like this when we are doing our deadlifts, then we are not using our core properly when we are doing our deadlifts. So we have 5 exercises standing, right, left sides, 5 exercises on the floor, right and left side. So we're also getting some unilateral work in here today. But we're gonna start right here, shoulders down. I want you to put your hands on your belly. We're just gonna do some nice deep breaths in. So breathe in and out. So in and out. And I want you to think breathing into your tummy and then breathing out again. So in and out. So slow it down. So in, hold it, breathe out. I want you to tighten everything up. Good, so in and out. Couple more, so breathing in, hold out. Good, again, breathe it in and out. Bring it in the center. Now I want you to hold that little bit of tension right here. So when we do this, soft knees, it's not a tail feather tuck, it's just a little bit of a tuck. We're pulling our ribs up to our hips and we're keeping our chest tucked under. So we want to think about ribs and hips are getting a little bit closer together, neutral spine. So tailbone is pointing down towards the floor and we're stacking our ears over our shoulders, over our hips. Good, so we're going to take it down, bring it back up again. So we're still holding that little bit of a belly pull in. So we're not sucking it in and trying to pull our belly to our spine, but we're not pushing our tummy out either. So I just want you to kind of pull up and in. And when we do some strength training, especially when we lift heavy, you kind of push out, but you just want to think that tense feeling. All right, we're gonna speed it up. So down and up. So sometimes for me, it's a little hard to describe what we're going for, but we're not sucking our belly into our spine, not pushing it out. We're just kind of trying to tighten it up a little bit. All right, deadlifts right here, down, 2, up, 2. So again, that little bit of a tuck. What you can think about is if you had a resistance band and you were holding a kettlebell, I'd want you to pull that kettlebell and not let the kettlebell get pulled forwards by that resistance band. So we're pulling shoulders down and back into our back pockets. Good, bring it up nice and tall. We're just going to march and down, march and down. Still holding that core in. We're mimicking some of the moves we're going to do later today. Now, I don't know if you could see the first couple of these I did. I'm stacked good here. I lean a little on this side. This is the hip that's giving me a little grief, and it's not real happy today. Good, hamstring curls, reach and pull, right here. So just stretching out the fronts of the legs a little bit, getting the body moving. I'm adding an open and a close of the fingers. Good, 8, 7, 4, 3, 2. All right, bring it in the center. We're gonna take it up and down. So lower body is nice and steady. So So we don't want any movement of the hips. We're freezing our lower body in ice. 2, switching low to high, down and up. Reach. So we're just thinking hip to shoulder, grabbing our seat belt. 3, 2. All right, bring it in the center. We're gonna bring it up and down. So this is another one. We wanna think, belly's in, take your hips to the wall behind you. Good, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in the center. We're gonna do some plank walkouts. So we're gonna take our legs a little bit wide, squat it down. I want you to walk yourself out to a nice good plank. Now option 1, drop to your knees, walk yourself back, and bring yourself up to standing. So squat it down, walk yourself out. Option 2, walk yourself back to a bear to walk yourself back up. So it's like dropping to your knees, but you don't actually go all the way down to your knees. You walk it out, and then you can also do a straight leg walk back. It's going to get you a little bit looser in those hamstrings. So you pick what's going to work better for you today. We're going to do one more here. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so if I do, I'm really sorry. I apologize. Good, walk it all the way back. Bring it up, roll the shoulders, up, back, and down. Grab a quick drink of water. We are going to use weights today. So we're gonna start. As you can see, we have a dumbbell racked squat. We're gonna do uneven, which means one hand at the shoulder, one hand down by your side. We're gonna do a weighted march, one arm up. You can always have your hand by your shoulder. We're gonna do weighted wood chop. So we're gonna bring it up, gently bring it down. Then we're going to do a forward lunge, press out, knee lift, press up. And then we're going to do some single leg deadlifts. So we're gonna really focus, I want you to focus on core today. So we're not flying through these. You don't have to go ridiculously super heavy. I want you to think about just trying to go for a nice, good core strengthening workout while we get a little bit of extra in there as well. So remember, we're doing right side, then left side. We're gonna start with that uneven racked squat in 3, 2, and 1. So we have one dumbbell at our shoulder, one down by our side. Squat it down, bring it up again. So the same rule applies for your core when we're doing squats. We don't want to turn our squat into a deadlift. If you feel like the weight at your shoulder is trying to pull you forward and pull your arm forward, make sure that we're not leaning. So we squat down, stand up tall, chest is tall, almost like you're trying to stay as upright as you can. You're not going to stay perfectly upright, that's okay. We're going to take it down, bring it up. About 5 more seconds. We're going to take it up for a weighted march. All right, set one of those weights down. You can choose to keep your weight here. I'm going to take mine up overhead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Tighten your core. So I don't want you speeding through, and I don't want you going side to side with this wobbly arm. Stabilize. Nice and tall. So again, belly is in. Push that floor away. Push the ceiling away. Let it dry well for like a year. And sometimes we would have to do overhead, put that drywall up. So this is where you learn to lock out those arms a little bit. I did rowing in senior year of high school. You're holding those boats overhead. You just want to do a nice steady press up. And if your arm starts getting tired, again, you can have it at your shoulder. Just don't let it touch. Good, bring it in. Weighted wood chop. So we're gonna hold the dumbbell on the end. Little bit of hip here, but we're gonna take it up, and then we're gonna bring it to the shoulder and down. So I want you to focus on the up and a little back. Here we go. So take it up, bring it down, and to the hip. So when we train our core, I focus a lot on stability and bracing, but our core moves in multiple directions. So it's not always just stabilizing. We're not always doing anti-flexion, anti-rotation. Sometimes we need to flex and we need to rotate. But we want to do this in a controlled manner. And it's okay if you're only going part way out, because that's what's comfortable for you. 3, 2, and 1. All right, this is our forward lunge, press out, knee drive, overhead press. Hands at your chest, forward lunge, press, knee lift, and press. Right side only. Here we go. So we forward lunge, press, drive the knee up, overhead press. So if you're struggling, I really want you to think about making sure that you're bracing that core. We're doing that belly tightening. That's what's really going to help you with this. If you're struggling, you can always just do a forward step, lift that back heel, tap it in, barely put any weight on that toe. Easy, I gotta hold for a second, catch my balance. It's doable. So sometimes losing your balance, good, last one. Losing your balance and being able to regain it is just as important as not losing your balance at all. All right, weight is in that right leg. Shift your weight forwards. Back leg, we're gonna lift it, brace that core, take it down, forward fold, and then we're gonna stand tall and bring it in. Now if you need to, you can have that toe down, kickstand deadlift, and bring it up. I'm going lighter because I really want to work on my technique. Shoulders down and back. So imagine you just took a shower, put on a towel. You've got to use your arms to hold the towel up. You don't want to let it come loose. Push the hips back, bring it in. So this is just a nice, good, slow and steady kind of workout today. All right, shake it out. We're gonna repeat those exercises again on the other side. So we're gonna start with our uneven squat. So I'm switching the dumbbell at my shoulder and the dumbbell by my hip. Here we go. So squat it down and bring it up. Especially on the way up. So think inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up on the hard part. That helps us tighten up a little bit. So nice, good, forceful breath. I want you to imagine you're trying to breathe through a straw. Inhale and exhale on the hard part. So in, exhale. 15 seconds to go. Nice and tall. And I'm still feeling legs from our workout on Thursday, I think it was. It kind of got me. Good job. Weights down, switching, going for that weighted march. So hand at the shoulder, not touching, shoulders down. Option 2, press that weight up and overhead. Nice and tall. Here we go. So we're going to march and march. So there's going to be a little bit of side-to-side wobble, but we want to minimize it as much as we can. So for me, when I stand on my right leg, that's the side I really need to work on. This is the side that likes to kick out. I'm having a little SI joint pain today, so I'm just taking it nice and easy, focusing on my core, stabilize my lower body, and bracing. So I never want to say train through pain. That's not how this works. But, good, bring it in. Weighted wood chops. But I also know what I can do on this side and what I need to do to strengthen it. And this actually helps me loosen it up a little bit. 2 and 1. Good, wood chop, bring it up. Shoulder and back to hip. So I'm focusing on back side of the body here. So I'm trying to lift it up and back, using those muscles on the back, kind of your QL, some of those rotators. Bring it up and take it down. It can be small. It does not have to be huge. So little is just fine. Good, 10 seconds to go. We're gonna go for that forward lunge with our press and then our knee lift. 2 and 1. All right, either leg is gonna go forward, forward lunge, pressing with the chest. And we're gonna push off that front leg, drive that knee up, press that weight overhead. Here we go. So forward step, press it, push off. Haha. Yes. We all have moments, right? Forward, press, push off. So I wasn't bracing, I wasn't I don't want to say locking out my knee, but I wasn't pushing off. I wasn't pushing that floor away from me with that standing leg, nice and tall. So when you really start thinking about your core, doing some of these exercises, you may notice that your balance gets better. Stronger core, better balance. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're gonna go for our single leg deadlift. Then we're done with our standing core and we're gonna head down to the floor. So plant that foot, shift your weight into that front leg. 80% or better is here. Here we go. So lift that back leg. Good forward fold. And then we're gonna stand nice and tall. So even if you only get to about your knee, that's fine. The goal for this, belly's in, hinging at your glutes, and then pull your hips forward or push your glutes forward to lift yourself up. So take it down, balance, bring it up, nice and tall. We have 10 seconds to go. You can do this body weight only, but that weight is gonna add resistance. Good, bring it all the way up, and it's gonna get you stronger. We're gonna take it down to the floor. You do not need any weights for this next series, this next section. If you want to add resistance for a couple of the exercises, you can. You do not have to, but it's a way to add a little bit of a challenge. If you do choose, and this is a new exercise for you, I want you to go light. So we're gonna take it all the way down to the floor. I am going to actually use my mat today. So this is your chance to grab water. Take that mat down. I'm just gonna make it so hopefully it's a little easier for you to see what I am doing today. So we're gonna start. We're gonna do a side plank march. You can do this at an incline. I've been adding this in a little bit more. Your first option is just a side plank. Don't worry about the march. Focus on your side plank. We're only doing one side each time, 45 seconds. So I want you to pick something that's challenging. So if you can hold a side plank without a lot of struggle for 45 seconds, I want you to try something harder. Take that top leg up. Or I want you to hold it part of the time here, part of the time here. Challenge yourself, even if it's just for a few seconds. So on your hand or on your elbow, we're gonna lift up into our side plank, and your time is on. Now option 1, knees. Nothing else moves, march that top leg forward and take it back down again, okay? Little inner thigh work, little outer thigh work, lift up with your hips. Almost like you're trying to get this side of your core up towards the ceiling, a little bit higher. If you can, take it up. We're gonna take bottom leg and march it forwards. Bottom leg to march. That's gonna make this top leg, that inner thigh, work a lot harder. We have 10 seconds. We're gonna go for a half get up. Half get up, with or without a dumbbell. 2 and 1, onto your back. 1 dumbbell if you're choosing. Right arm and leg are out at an angle. Left knee is bent. We're gonna reach the arm up. We're gonna crunch into that right arm, and we're going to sit up nice and tall. Keep that dumbbell pointing to the ceiling. So here we go. So bring it up, push nice and tall, drop to the elbow, slowly release. Notice my dumbbell stays pointing to the ceiling the entire time. You can see why I had you choose a light weight if this is what you want to do. You don't have to have one. You are more than welcome to do this without a weight. This one's challenging. So crunch it up, lean it in, sit tall, lift, drop it down. Got about 5 more seconds. Make sure that we're not taking it forward this way. Point it up to the ceiling. Good job, bring it all the way down. Isometric dead bug. Isometric dead bug. The leg that's bent, we're gonna take that leg, bring it up. Hand on your thigh. Your other arm and leg are up. They're going to go out and in. Out and in. So right hand on your right thigh, you're putting pressure. Open and close. Now you can just hold it right here. You don't even have to do the rest. I want you to keep that low back close to the floor. Don't push the tummy up. I want you to pull belly in. This is our core work. This is where we're keeping our low back close to the floor, ribs tucked. Pull those hips in a little bit. Isometric. Good core stability. Good. All right. Go ahead and bring it, stay on your backs. We're gonna do a starfish. So we're gonna take the legs out. We're gonna take the arms out. We're going to take, I'm just gonna do the leg that was up to keep it simple. Right arm to right leg. Now your first option is your low back stays glued to the floor. Yes? Right arm, left leg, or whatever leg was up. Option 1 is here. Option 2 is we're gonna crunch it up. All right? You decide what you're gonna do today. This is more challenging. You can always crunch and drive the knee in. But when we extend and we straighten, our low back stays glued to the floor. You can always just stay here, lift and lower, still keeping that nice tight core. 2 and 1. Good. Bring it into the center. The leg that was doing the movement is still going to do the movement. Your other leg, you're going to pull that knee into your chest. We're going to do leg lowers right here. So belly in, knee into chest. Here we go. Take it down and bring it up. Pulling the knee into your chest is going to make this a little bit easier. You're going to get a little more hips. Make it a little bit harder. Instead of pulling the knee into the chest, put that foot on the floor. So you have option 1, you have option 2, and then your final challenge, take that other leg up, hold it up, lower and lift. Core is still pulled in, low back close to the floor. The closer you get to the floor, the harder this is going to be. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to repeat. We're going to start with our side plank, side plank. So bring it up into a nice good side plank position. 2 and 1. So we bring it up, hold that side plank is your first option. Your second option is always is to start adding in that top leg march. So when we do our top leg march, nothing else moves, hips don't go back. We're still squeezing the glutes, lifting here. If you can, lift up into a full side plank, bottom leg, march it forward. So now you're relying on the inner thigh for that top leg to do a lot of work. It's a good inner thigh strengthener. 8 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take it all the way down onto our backs. This is our half get up. So now the other arm and leg are out to the side. Your knee is bent, foot flat, arm is up. Here we go. We crunch it. Rotate into, crunch into that arm, and then you can push through the hand, sit up tall, drop into your elbow, and roll it down. And it's really easy, especially if you're using a weight and you're struggling, to use that weight to help pull you. And we're all gonna have one side that works better than the other. It's pretty normal. And some of this is just practice getting used to the exercise. This is probably one of the harder exercises in our workout today. So if you're struggling, good, bring it down. If you're struggling, it's okay. Don't stress about it. It will come with time. All right, I'm gonna take that thigh, bring it up, hand on your thigh. We're gonna lift the arm. So option 1, your time's on. We're right here. Hand presses on the thigh presses in. Option 2, as we start adding in that arm and leg movement, we're doing same arm, same leg here. Now you control how much pressure your hand and your thigh are placing on each other. But I really want you to, again, focus core. That's what today's workout is all about. So if you need to keep it stationary to keep that strong core, that's fine. Sometimes we have to regress a little before we can progress. We've got to build that strong foundation before we start adding in these hard exercises. You can always do arm and then leg. Good job. Take it out. We're going to do our starfish. So we have our arms out. Again, low back, fold into the floor. Tuck your tail a little. This is harder. Here we go. We're going to bring arm up to your opposite leg. Nothing changes in the center. There is no arching or rounding of that low back. Especially on the way down, we start to let those ribs lift, hips lift. We want to avoid that. Bring it in, take it down. Option, make it harder. Crunch it up, take it over. So a little bit of oblique here. After this, we have one more exercise, and we're gonna stretch. Good, bring it in. So pick your position for your leg lowers. Whatever you did last time, we're gonna do this time. So you can do leg on the floor, foot on the floor. You can do knee into the chest. You can do legs straight. Here we go. So we did a little bit of everything. I did anyway, last time. So you can do a little bit of everything this time as well. Now when we pull the knee into the chest, we're not pulling it in and lifting our hips off of the floor. Hips stay on the floor. We're pulling that belly button in, lifting and lowering the legs. Add a little bit more. Take that foot to the floor. Third option, bring that leg up. Hold it there. You can even hold a little bit behind the thigh. Down and up. All right, let's go ahead, bring it in. Hug your knees. Pull the knees into the chest a little bit, but make sure you can still breathe. All right, when you are ready, we're going to roll over onto our tummies. So come up to seated, grab a quick drink of water. We're going to roll over onto our tummies. We're going to rest our chin on our hands, and we're going to point those toes. Pardon me. So we're going to point those toes, rest our chin on our hands. And every time we exhale, I want you to think about relaxing your hips into the ground. So we don't want to relax our low back into the ground. Really think exhale, open the hips. Now option 1 is chin on the hands. Option 2 is you take an upturned fist and you rest your chin on an upturned fist. Option 3 is 2 upturned fists, one on top of the other, and you rest your chin on your upturned fist. So this is a spine safe stretching exercise. If you are really, really, really tight, you may have to start by putting a pillow underneath your hips, not under your tummy, but under your hips, and work on this, and then start switching. So nice deep breaths into your belly, like you're trying to push yourself away from the floor. And then exhale, relax the hips into the ground. So we're still keeping that core braced. And do one more nice deep breath. All right, we're going to take our hands kind of by our chest. Take a nice deep breath in. Brace your core to push yourself up and back to a hands and knees position. So we're going to do a cat-cow with some hip circles. So shoulders away from the ears. We're going to start with just a nice good inhale, gentle arch of the back, and then an exhale, tuck your tail. So we inhale, and then we exhale. Now we're going to inhale, shift our hips to the right, exhale back into the center, lift, and then shift our hips to the left. So we're inhaling, and we're going to start to circle around. If you don't want to do the arching and the rounding of the back, I want you to think about belly breathing, where we breathe into our tummy, and then we exhale and pull the belly in. Good. Switching sides. So inhale, gentle arch, hips go to the left. Exhale in the middle, hips go to the right. Our shoulders are still over our wrists and they're pulled down and back into our back pockets. Good. Last one. Bring it into the center. We're going to do a half kneeling stance, one foot in front of the other. So you can put something underneath your knees in the back if you need to. Hands on the pelvis, and we're just going to start with a little bit of pelvic tucking. So again, it's just inhale, exhale. Now this is pelvic control. This is also core control. So you're opening at the tummy, and then we're tucking. Brace that core. Back and in. Good. One more time. Open. Hold this tuck. You should be in a nice neutral spine position right now. Your back glute is squeezing to open up the front of this hip. And keeping this position, we're going to start going forwards and backwards. This is a really good hip mobility drill, but right now I want you to think, hold that really, really good tight core position. You should be able to brace your core and not hold your breath. And your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Good. Hold it here. Keep the tuck. Keep the squeeze. Hips side to side. You're walking down a narrow hallway and you're bumping your hip on the wall on either side. Good. All right. Hold it here. Keep the tuck and the squeeze. We're going to reach corner to corner. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in the center. We're going to open this leg out to the side, and it can be the side or the corner. Our hip is still pointing to the front, so we're not going to turn. We're going to tuck. We're going to squeeze. We're going to gently press that inner thigh out to open up the hip, and we're going to add in a nice good side bend. I want you to lift your ribs towards the ceiling as you lower your hips down towards the floor. Good, release. We're gonna hold this position, adjust as necessary for an inner thigh and an ankle stretch. Keep that ankle down on the floor, and we're going to just hold it. You can go forward a little. Press that heel down, good calf stretch. Knees are gonna go over the toes. If you're not stretching your calf and it hurts your knees, try going a little farther out and see if that helps. Bring it in, switching over to the other side. Same thing, nice good half kneeling stance. We're gonna start tuck and release. Tuck and release. And when we release, it's not full out. We're just gonna tuck and relax. So we're learning, we're moving. It's a bucket of milk. We're sloshing the milk forwards and backwards, or it's a bowl. Our pelvis really is kind of a bowl. Good, hold the tuck, hold the squeeze, and we're going to go forwards and backwards. Shoulders are still in line with our hips. Our hips will go in front of this knee that's in the back. Front heel stays glued to the floor. We're holding that good brace posture right here. Good, hold it here, narrow hallway, bump the hips. This is also good because we did quite a bit of legs today, all things considered, even though it was core. Good, bring it in the center, tucking and squeezing, reach, corner to corner. 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in the center. Now we're going to open this leg out to the side. If you're tight, it might be out to the corner, but we're going to open. Keep this hip pointing forward, squeezing that glute, gentle press out, and then we're going to lift. So lift the ribs up, lower the hips. So we're expanding this space right between our ribs. 4, 3, 2, release. Now we're going to keep that heel down. We're going to push that knee over our toes. We do come onto the inner thigh and your knee a little bit here, but we're going to press that heel down, and we're going to work on that ankle. So remember to adjust your foot position to make this comfortable and stretching for you. Good, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Sitting, standing, kneeling, whatever feels better for you. Again, belly in. We're going to give ourselves a nice good pat on the back. So a lot of times when we start to do our arms behind our head, arms reaching for our back, we start to arch and we start to lose that core control. So belly's in. We're going to do a little stretch. And part of this is because we don't have the mobility here, so we try to make up for the mobility in other places. Good, bring it in, other side. Nice good pat on the back again, tucking and squeezing. This is a good one. You can have your back against the wall with your feet a few inches away, and you pull that low back into the wall while you try to give yourself a pat on the back. Good, release, bring it down. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down into your back pocket. Last exercise we're going to do today, whether you are kneeling or you are standing, you're going to take your hands, palms facing forwards. We're going to place our hands onto our glutes. So not in our low back, but we're going to push down on our glutes, which is going to push our hips forwards while still protecting our low back. So pushing down on the glutes naturally starts to push the hips to the front, and we can open the front of the body, a little bit of a stretch of the core. Squeeze those shoulders. Release, bring it in. Deep breaths in, inhale and exhale. Good, one more time, big breath in and out. And you are all done. So I want you to give yourself a nice, good pat on the back for finishing this workout. I am so grateful that you joined me today, or that you are watching this recording and doing this workout later. Please let me know if you like this workout by hitting that thumbs up button or leaving a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more workouts. I do one on every Saturday at this time, 8 o'clock Central. So subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and then hit that notification bell because it will notify you whenever I do a new video or when I am going live. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed that workout, and I hope to see you in class again. Bye.